Good morning. This is Faith at Faith&books. How are you doing today? This is a quick video to make up for the fact that I never got one uploaded on Sunday. I made one on Sunday, but something really weird happened to it. It disappeared and then it reappeared a day later, and there was only half of it. So it's just really odd. That's never happened to me before. So I'll just give a quick update on my Victober. First of all, my grandson, Phineas, was due on Friday, October 15th. He has not shown up yet. He's not made any signs of showing up, as far as I know. He's up in Boston with his mother and my son. I'm just holding this here on top of the steering wheel, sorry. Anyway, but I am trying to finish reading Anthony Trollope's Can You Forgive Her? So I can get to Phineas Finn before the end of October. That's just a little goal that I set for myself a long time ago. So I am, how far am I in this? I'm trying to hold this without shaking it. I'm on page 475. So I have about less than 400 to go. Wow, that's good. But I'm really enjoying it. It's Can You Forgive Her by Anthony Trollope. It's the first book in the Palliser series. And it's basically about these three women who can't decide, each of them, between two different men. So there's Alice Vavasor, who is torn between her cousin George Vavasor and another gentleman who she had become engaged to, and then she broke off the engagement, John Gray. And she's just what's the word I want? Equivocating, is that right? Or I can't remember the word that I want. Begins with a V. Anyway, so she cannot decide. And she overthinks everything. She has very good judgment. She's very intelligent. She's very independent. She's very proud, very sensible, but not for herself. She overthinks things to an agonizing degree. She talks herself into stuff, and then the minute she makes a decision, she realizes that she's done the wrong thing, and she just keeps painting herself into corners. And it's kind of agonizing to watch her do this, because she is so intelligent, and she's a good character. She's interesting. I think if she lived in modern day, she would be a politician. She's really interested in politics, and she just finds that really exciting. And so if she was living today, I think she would have, gone to law school and gotten involved in politics. But, back in the day, she couldn't do that. So she's torn between marrying her cousin, George Vavasor, who she was in love with when she was a bit younger. He did something, and they broke off their relationship. They renewed it as friends. But then it got sparked again, and George is largely using her for her money. She has some money. She's not rich, but she does have enough to be independent. But he's broke, and so he's kind of using her, and she's just doing it because she thought it would be an exciting life. But now she's realizing that she's absolutely repulsed by him now. She's gone from being in love with him to just being repulsed by him. But she's engaged to him now. And she broke it off with John Gray, who's much more like his name, Gray. He's not as interesting, maybe, in that way that George is. George is kind of volatile. But John Gray is steady. He's quiet, but he's very intelligent. He's full of confidence, and he gets her. He understands. He's very forgiving, and he understands the way her mind works, and he's being very patient with her. And that's a really interesting part of the story. Then there's two other women. One is Mrs. Greenow, who's this rich widow, who's just having the time of her life, sort of stringing along these two rather silly suitors that she has, and she's she's good for entertainment value. And then the third one is a Lady Glencora. Is that what her name is? Am I saying it right? And she is a really interesting character. I find her really interesting. And she is torn between her husband, who she was kind of forced to marry, Plantagenet Palliser, so this is the Palliser series, who's kind of a cold fish. He's a wonk. He's also really into politics, or mostly he's into power, and he wants to be the exchequer, and he's working his way up through Parliament, and he's very wonky and studious and bookish, and he likes to sit and strategize, and Lady Glencora is completely, I mean, they're so unsuited for each other. She's absolutely miserable. She's not even 21, so I guess he married her. He's like 30. He married her when she was 19. She's very wealthy. She was in love with this other guy named Burgo Fitzgerald, and she's now convincing herself, it's been a couple years now, she hasn't had a child. She hasn't gotten pregnant. So she's thinking, why am I here in this marriage? I'm not providing the heir that Palliser wants. I'm absolutely miserable in my marriage. And she knows that Burgo is still in love with her, and she's still in love with him. So she wants to run off with him. So it's these three stories. They're all intertwined. It's a really, really interesting book. So I'm enjoying it. It's a big book. It's 840 some pages. I'm working my way through it, but I am enjoying it. I just want to get it done by the end of October, and it's already October 19th. And then I almost gave up on this. In fact, for a week I did give up on Lorna Doone because it's just too much of a chunk or two. I can't do two chunkers in one Victober because I just don't have the time. But I am still, I gave up on it for a week, but then I confessed to the Read Along Most Victorian that I had to drop out, and other people confessed that they were getting behind, and so Kate very graciously moved. We're now going to finish reading it in November, so we've got 2 months. So I'm working my way through it, but I'm still not caught up, and I'm in another read along with it, and I'm way behind, I think, those people. I think, like, I'm on chapter 22, and I think they're like chapter 36, maybe even further than that. So I'm really not keeping up with them. But anyway, I am enjoying it though. The thing is, I really wish that I could just concentrate on it because, it's really lovely. It's just enchanting. It's just like a fairy tale, and it's cozy, and I really like it. I've gotten to the point where Lorna's told her story. She's just finished telling her story. So anyway, sorry for jiggling this. So those are the two books I'm working on. I did finish Diary of a Nobody. I can't remember who wrote that. It was two brothers, I think. And and that's a very light read, as I've said before. It's this poor kind of put upon guy, Charles Pooter. And it's just him keeping a diary for about 15 months. And reporting the vagaries of his daily life, and it was light, and it was humorous, and it was a nice glimpse into the lifestyle, and it had some silly, funny parts, and there was a certain sweetness to it too, because he did have some good moments. It wasn't him always being the butt of the joke or getting the raw end of the deal or whatever, or being upset by his son. So I if you want a really light read, I recommend it. And so that's me in Victober. What else did we do? Oh, my husband and I watched the Dr. Thorne miniseries last week, and we liked it, but I hadn't read Dr. Thorne in a few years, and I couldn't really remember the details. And for me, Dr. Thorne was my least favorite of the Barchester series, although I still loved it. It was still good. It was a good book, and I would reread it. In fact, I want to reread it because I don't remember enough, and I want to know what they changed in the miniseries. But that got my husband reading it because he had read The Warden before, and he'd read Barchester Towers, but he hadn't gotten any further in that series by Trollope. So he's now reading Dr. Thorne. He's thoroughly enjoying it. He really likes it. So I got to go back and read it again, I think. Anything else that we're doing? I can't really. I'm really engrossed in gardening and just childcare. I'm sitting here outside my grandson's house because I drop off the 6-year-old at kindergarten, and then I just drive over here, and I have about 20 minutes before I have to get my grandson, and I've been sitting here reading. It's been my reading time. So I think that's all I wanted to say. There's probably more, but I can't think of it right now. So, all right, I hope that this will upload. So wish me luck. Anyway, so I hope you are doing well, and happy reading and happy Victober. Bye-bye.